Hi everyone, it's Kelly. I have another process video for you today. Today's video is for the Blog Hops with Heart blog hop. This month we are featuring paper crafting projects that have some type of pocket on them, and for my project I will be making a scrapbook layout that has a shaker pocket. So I've started by cutting a cut file from the cut shop. It is the prickly pineapple cut file, and I have cut it on a piece of white cardstock, and then I have also cut a front panel using a patterned paper from the Calypso Collection from Close to My Heart. I've added a layer of clear gesso to the white cardstock, and now I'm going to come in with some mixed media. I'm going to be using a whipped spackle texture paste and a couple acrylic paints to create this nice pink color, and then I'm going to come in with a Ranger stencil. You can see it laying to the left over there, just to create some texture on the back of that pineapple. I'm not really worried about getting even coverage with this. A lot of it's going to be covered by the front part of the shaker pocket. I just wanted to have a little bit of texture and a little bit of pink kind of popping out from behind. Now, once this mixed media has dried, I'm going to go ahead and layer my pieces, and I'm going to stitch about 3/4 of it closed just to leave enough opening that I'll be able to toss the sequins inside it. To keep the sequins from falling out of the front panel, I just used a piece of clear packaging. It was some leftover packaging from a 12 by 12 chipboard sheet. I just hand cut it to the shape of the pineapple, and then I layered that between the green pattern paper and the white cardstock. I will stitch the rest of that pineapple closed later on, but I'm going to go ahead and get the design started for this layout. That yellow striped paper is from the pink Paislee-Citrus Bliss Collection, and that 4x4 pink card is from the same collection. It came with the chipboard frame pack. I had originally thought I would just use this blue tissue paper as the backing for my photo, but the blue blended in with the blue sky, so I wanted a little bit of variation. So I do come in with some white cardstock, and then I will tuck that tissue paper behind the white cardstock for part of my photo mat. So for this layout, I use a lot of the pink Paislee-Citrus Bliss Collection, and I use a lot of that new Close to My Heart Calypso Collection. One thing that I'm trying to do is anytime I receive a new collection, I go through my stash to see if I have any other products that coordinate with the new collection. I'm trying my best to use up some of my stash. So the Calypso line and the Citrus Bliss line coordinate really well. In fact, I just mixed a lot of the products because they have the same feel, a lot of the same colors, and I really like when I find something that matches so well. So I've tucked a frame behind my photo mat. That is from the Citrus Bliss Collection. It doesn't end up making it onto the layout, but I do use quite a few stickers from the sticker sheet. That is from the new Close to My Heart Calypso line. And what I'm doing there is I am using an EK Success powder tool. That's something that I had just recently purchased. I saw a lot of videos on YouTube where scrapbookers use the powder to deactivate the stickiness of the sticker so it becomes more of an ephemera piece, and you're able to move it around the page until you find where you like to place it. As we all know, some stickers can be really sticky, and I am really indecisive. I've mentioned that before in my previous videos as to where I like to place my embellishments. So that powder tool has been amazing. I love that I can move them around and then I can just add some liquid adhesive once I find the perfect place. So I've sorted through my ephemera to find some pieces that I'd like to use. I did go ahead and stitch the rest of that shaker pocket together, and now I'm going to start adhering things down. I'm still not exactly sure of the placement, so I'm just going to use some tape runner adhesive. It's way easier to lift things up with tape runner adhesive than it is with any type of liquid adhesive. So I'm going to start with that until I know the exact placement of where I want to put everything. The only thing about tape runner adhesive is that it doesn't like tissue paper. So I did mess up the layering a little bit there. So I just bring in another piece of tissue paper and just adhere it down and get it folded the way that I like. So I know I want the pineapple on the left, the photo in the center, and then that 4x4 card tucked in on the right. But as far as the embellishing goes, I'm really not sure where I want title placement, where I'm going to add any of the ephemera. I just know that that's the basic layout and the basic design for this layout. Okay, so I'm going to start to bring in some ephemera. That blue skies is from the Citrus Bliss Collection, and then I'm going to bring in some fishtailed banner pieces, and those are from both of collections I've been using throughout this entire layout. I add a flamingo, and then I add some florals. I've decided that I want my title to be Oh Hey Miami, and then I will have a subtitle of South Beach. The Oh Hey is an acetate piece from the Citrus Bliss Collection, and then for my thickers, those are DIY thickers from American Crafts. They're meant to be sprayed or misted. They have this really nice fabric texture look to them. I've decided to keep them white because I like that nice contrast off of the yellow paper. To add a little bit more contrast, I'm going to add a strip of black and white striped washi tape to the bottom of my photo cluster. I really like the pop of black. So speaking of pops of black, at the end of this layout, I add some black splatters. I do that off camera, And I have a love-hate relationship with black splatters. I feel like I can't ever get them just the way that I want them. I either add way too many or I add not enough. And for this layout, I added way too many. I actually end up paper piecing some of the background paper back together because I hate the way that the black splatters look at the end of this layout. Okay, so let's get back to what's actually going on in the layout right now. I am stamping my subtitle and I am using a retired Close to My Heart stamp set. It is the Sans Small Cap stamp set and it has been retired for a really long time. It's really well loved. It's one of my favorite alphabet sets. It's just the perfect size. And I am using Close to My Heart Glacier ink. It matches the blue that I have going on in the layout really, really well. I'll use that same ink color to stamp my date stamp later on in the layout. And now I'm just trying to figure out placement, if I want it to be above or below. I have a couple different labels there. So I'm going to start adhering down some more ephemera. That circle piece says Love Life, and it is a vellum piece from the Calypso collection. I also add a couple more pineapples, and I'm going to add a couple of clear stickers from the Amy Tangerine. I believe it's the Finders Keepers collection. I do also add a couple more acetate triangles towards the top next to that Oh Hey triangle. Those two new triangles that I added on there have this black fine print on them, which helps add to the elements of black that I have going on in the layout. I thought about adding another strip of washi to the top of the photo right by the title, but I decided against it. And now I'm going to go through and just start adhering things down with my liquid adhesive. And there I was showing you my excitement over my fine line bottle that I had just purchased. It is so nice not to have to use a stick pin to unclog my glue every time I want to use it. I'm going to add another clear Amy Tangerine sticker to this layout from the Finders Keepers collection. The yellow in that Finders Keepers collection matches the yellow in the papers that I'm using really well. I do add quite a few things off camera. I thought that I was finished pretty much at this point, but I end up going back in and adding some strips of paper to the top and the bottom of the layout and also some stitching. I add those black splatters that I had mentioned, and I also add some black sequins from the Calypso collection. I'm going to leave you with some still shots. I will link to my blog in the description below if you'd like to head over. I will have links to the cut file that I used and also links to the remaining members of the hop if you'd like to hop along with us. And as always, thank you so much for watching.